we went to work every day, speaking for myself. We would do a 10 to 1 session, go and do a 2 to 5 session, a 7. We went to work the same way the guy came and fixed your washing machine or your toilet. He went to one job to another. That's what we did. That we were functioning, recording musicians, songwriters, producers, engineers, arrangers. We were driven by what I call vitamin P, passion. That's what drove us. It just, if we didn't tap our foot or our brain or our heart, we didn't do it. We couldn't do it. And that's why we were hired for the various projects that we did. And nothing's changed. Now I'm going to be 75 in December 2nd. It's still passion. It's nothing else. If I can't feel it, if I don't cry, if I don't laugh, whatever the passion is, I don't do it. I can't do it. Back in 1960, I forgot the year I made Feelin Alright. I forgot the year,
1970?
Pardon me?
1970?
My dad's here. Thank you. I get a call from a guy. I get a call from a guy. His name is Denny Cordell, very successful producer, who ultimately became successful, to work with this guy, Joe Cocker. And I had heard one of his records, and I really liked his voice. I meet him at A&M. We take a creative meeting, and we hit it off great, Joe and I. Really hit it off great. Denny was kind of a quiet guy. He wore wooden shoes, and he wore a wooden shirt. I don't know what he wore. Maybe those were his feet. I have no idea. Kind of a nice guy, quiet guy. And I went for a hamburger. Across the street from A&M, there was a hamburger stand. I'll never forget it. And Joe and I, and he said, "Artie, mate," he said, "this Dave Mason song is going round in my brain, but I hate his record. It's lame. We got to make the record funky. Whatever you do, make it funky." And he ordered 2 hamburgers, 2 cheeseburgers loaded with everything, toothpaste, everything you could put on it. And he had one in each hand. And by the way, I will tell you that he was a lovely guy. He was a terrific, lovely guy. And he ate these 2 cheeseburgers animal style. That's what the kids say today, animal style. And he ate them. And he says, "Whatever I can convey to you, mate." And he put his arm around me. "Make it funky, because I hear something in it." He says, "You hear anything yet? We just had a meeting a half an hour." I didn't even get my 4th cheeseburger yet. Those are the days when I was a B cup, if you know what I mean. So, anyway, I have my series of cheeseburgers and my assortment of fries. And I say, "Joe, I hear something. I don't know what I hear. Let me go home and live with it a while." And we were recording 2 weeks later. So I finally hear something. I listened to the Dave Mason record. It was a good song, it really was. But Dave's record was a little on the slow. Listen to it twice and call me in the morning. It was kind of on the sleepy side. So, but I heard something, and when I came up with this piano figure, I jumped. I started to, and I immediately thought of Carol Kay and Paul Humphrey, the great bass player, great drummer, and I wrote it down. There were no computers then, my God. And I wrote it down, and it just happened. It just happened. And when I got to the studio, this is God's honest truth, we made 2 or 3 takes, and that was it. And when we found a take that we liked, we sat back and listened to the playback, and it was like an 18-wheeler, and we were sitting in the middle of the road. You couldn't stop it. It was coming at us. It was a force of nature. And I remember Carol Cray, the great bass player, and Paul Humphrey sitting in the control room, jaws dropped. And Denny Cordell was very happy. He should have been. And now, here it is, years later, half a century. The record's been in every movie, everything. Fine, great. I've gotten emails, letters. People want to know, are you white? Are you black? Are you green? What are you? Are you a Saint Bernard? What the hell are you? They want to know what I am. The business is a strange business. I never worked for this producer again. He never hired me. If I would have done a shitty job, I would have done 20 albums with him. It's a strange business. He never hired me again. Joe Cocker, I worked with a number of times. I hired him in some movie projects, and he was wonderful to work with. He was a terrific guy. He flew me over to England to do a concert just to play Feelin Alright. He had his own band, a wonderful band, but I would come on stage and just play Feelin Alright. It's a delicious memory I have twice, and then I went over to Scotland once to do it. And that's my Joe Cocker story. He's a one-of-a-kind artist. I'm sure he's up there just kicking butt where he is, because he came to rehearse. I hired him to do a movie of the week at Warner Brothers, a pilot for Warner Brothers. And it was about soldiers in Vietnam who missed their folks at home and their family. And Joe had that voice. And when he came to my house, hey, mate, how are you? It was just great. And I played him the song I wrote, and he loved it. He loved it. And when he came into the studio to record, it was like old home week. It was just, oddly enough, I say that, the name of the song was Home, believe it or not. That was about the soldiers that wanted to come. He brought an entity of absolutely rawness to it, but an earthiness that was so unique, that was so marvelous and wonderful. And he had a fantastic sense of humor. He would tell an off-color joke. He'd say, this joke made us a little blue, but I'll pour a little white stuff on it so it won't be dark blue, if you know what I mean. He was nuts. He was nuts. But I loved working with him. He was delicious. He was a real mensch. He was fun to work with. He was a class act, and we need more guys like that, or women like. We need more artists like that, because they were the real deal. There was no BS. He got to the essence of the lyric. He got to the essence of the theatrics that were needed, and he had animal instincts. He just knew what to do, and that's my Joe Cocker story. I never expected the record to be around all these years. I never expected the piano lick to be what it was. I think it came through me. I can't take the credit for it. I did it, yes, but I'm glad it came out of me. But I learned a lot from Ray Charles. I learned a lot from Mike and Jerry. I learned a lot from wherever I was. But that's my Joe Cocker story.